Hello, screenwriters, and welcome to Writing for Screens, the screenwriting step-by-step project, chapter 124. My name is Glenn Gers, and I come to you every afternoon, Monday through Friday, if I can make it at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, to walk you through the process of writing a script. I let you look over my shoulder, share my screen. I talk to you as I go through the process of writing a script in order to try and demystify the process, to try and show you just the basic mechanical, technical steps that it takes to write a script. It's not the best way, it's not the only way, but it is the way that I figured out during my 25-year career writing movies and TV. And I feel like most screenwriting classes and lessons don't talk about this process, the actual day-by-day, scene-by-scene, moment-by-moment process of figuring out what you're saying on any given scene and line, and then rewriting it and moving it around and cutting it and rethinking it. That kind of stuff nobody talks about. They talk about the end result, how great it has to be, what a brilliant script is like. They don't talk about the weird process of looking at a blank page and trying to get from there to a brilliant script. Hello, this is Kitschy. So what I do is I just come here, I'm working on this script that I came up with an idea for over the summer. It was just a couple of lines and I worked it into an outline. Then I did a rough draft going through that outline, using it as kind of a checklist, a things to do list. Then I went through that, I read it, I made notes, I tried to look at what needed to be done. And today I am going to start working on the second draft. Hello, 99 Precinct. Hello, Marataloso. Hello, Aspen Ruins. Maratlatoso. I'll get it one day, I swear. All right, so the big news is I've gone through the outline and all the notes, tried to figure out what every scene is really about, what the things are that need to be fixed. And I got to the last section and I thought, you know what? I think at this point, I need to just do it in the script. Like I need to start rewriting the script because it's just a mess. You know, it's a rough draft. When I say rough, I am talking, it doesn't barely make sense. But in not making sense, I could figure out what's not working and what is good about it. And the thing is, there's a couple of good things. The biggest one, hello, Abraham. The biggest one that I'm going to talk about right now is the title, because in going through this process, I finally chose a title. So let us look at our list of titles, because it's here in the overview, which is kind of my, that's where I put the themes and the characters and title workspace. It's the big overall big picture of the script, not the outline, that's scene by scene. This is the stuff that is series, season, themes, overall characters, that kind of stuff. Hello, Rachel. So, I had a list of like 30 or 40 possible titles. Most of them were kind of messy. But I brought it down to these 5. And then I was looking at the script, looking at that last scene. Here, let's take a look. Okay. And here in this last scene, well, it's not this, it's way down at the very, very bottom of the script. I have a part of the script that is actually working. It's like, okay, Xena says, like, basically says to Madeline, I know you didn't want to be part of this, but we are now all targets of this killer and we have to work together. And she says, we're all crime crackers now. I was just putting that in as a kind of placeholder for whatever the group's name was. And hello, Natasha. And every time I look at that line, I think that's right. That's good. We're all crime crackers now is just painfully it's like, you are this thing that you really didn't want to be. You are this embarrassing, pretentious, foolish, crazy thing. And so the crime crackers, which originally I thought was silly, I am beginning to think is really right. Hello, Gus, and thank you. I'm glad. And hello, Jean. So we're talking about the title because I have figured this line. When I got to this line, we're a team. We're all crime crackers now. And I thought about, okay, we're all cyber sleuths. We're all, whatever, all the many possible names for the group that I thought of. This one struck me as painfully good. And for the first time, like, oh, we're all kill catchers. Kill catchers is like scarier. Crime crowd, crowd solving. That we're all the Tuesday Night Crime Club. It's not right. So what I realized is this one is right because it's got enough comedy to it. And I've been really wrestling with the tone of this piece because I know what I think it is, which is a dark comedy or a dark romantic comedy. But it keeps, when I'm working on the mechanics, I tend to veer into the drama. And the truth is, even though it's an hour long which has a funny vibe to it. The main thing is that most of the choices I'm making are scary but weird, scary but crazy, scary but, and I realized that I'm not going for a straight thriller here. I'm going for a thriller romantic comedy, and I need the title to be on the comedy side. Let people discover the darkness, because you're always, when you bring people into a mixed genre story, that's hard to grasp. And so you need to decide, what are you asking them to step into, and then what are you going to twist it with? And I realized that for this, I'm going to tell them it's fun, and then it's going to have an edge. That's cool. Anyway, so all these are going away, and the title is becoming Crime Crackers. Because implied in Crime Crackers is A, they are cracking a crime, right? But at the same time, it sort of says they're crackers, they're nuts, they're foolish, they're silly. So Crime Crackers, I am going to... See, there we go. I feel like it's right. It's lighter than I would have initially thought I was going to go, but I would rather bring people into, oh, that sounds kind of fun, and then they're like, ooh, this has got some edge to it. This has got some darkness to it. That's okay. I can do that. So now I know the title. And congratulations, Natasha. That is marvelous. I am very happy for you. Yes. Okay. So having come up with We're All Crime Crackers now, I am going to go back to this because now I'm going to start the rewrite. I'm going to start the second draft. That is the point. And what I did was I started to read through this because this is... there's good pieces of these scenes. It's the last 10 pages or so, I'd say. And it's from when, yeah, okay. Oh, wow, that's 15 pages. That's one of the things I need to do is cut. Yeah, it's coming up on 20 pages, right. Okay, good. So what I've decided about doing the second draft is I am not going to necessarily go in order, but certainly I'm not going to start at the beginning. It's really not always that important, especially when you have an outline and when you have a draft. You don't have to keep starting at the beginning and going through page by page, because when you do that, It means every time you restart, you're going to polish the beginning more. And you're going to be tired and burned out when you get to the end. And the end is probably the most important part. The end is everything, really, because the end makes statements that, well, especially the end of a pilot, you're setting up the entire rest of the series. You are saying, this is where we are going. This is what you are getting into that you didn't see coming. And I really think the end of this pilot is a good is a good ending of a pilot, because it takes the various elements and then it throws in a new one. And I want to get that right, because that will tell me so much about what this show is. And then when I go back and write the first 50 pages, I'll be like, yeah, I know where I'm heading to. I know who these people are in a much better way. If you just keep going through the people's introductions, you don't tell the story very well. I have found that it's really not a great idea to always rewrite from the beginning through. Start in the middle, start at the end, start at the place where you don't feel you're getting it, when you're fresh, when you're sharp. So that is what I'm going to do. Hello, Larry. We are starting the second draft. All right. Okay, first of all, I'm going to make a note here. I'll actually do it in the outline. Right now, I've got this piece where they are planning to leave. Madeline comes out with her carry-on bag. In other words, that they're about to leave. But in rewriting, in changing the outline for the scenes before, I realized that Madeline is actually planning to stay there a while and ask questions about her life. So therefore, this doesn't make any sense. Okay. Busted. Okay, so freezes. Really, you're doing this here? You're doing this right here? Really, you're doing this right here? We can hear you. Hear you. Yeah, we can hear you. Because they're talking about how Madeline threw them out, and so. Hello, Gerardo. Have not seen you before. Nice to see you. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, we are starting the second draft. I'm starting to rewrite the script, having made my plans and answered my questions in the outline, except for this last section, which I feel like I want to start at the end. I want to get the ending right. Everyone looks at the open doorway behind. Boo, 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 boo. Okay, so need to get pen. Okay, so eventually I gotta trim that down. Madeline okay, so what I noticed about this is, first of all, just way too long and not clear as to the steps of them getting to know each other. So, really? You don't know the word restaurants? Restaurants. Get rid of those passive verbs, folks. Are, is, do everything you can to get rid of them. Boom. England. All right. One of the things I mean, partly I'm just going to be cleaning up words, but the main thing I need to do here is this is a place where I need to have some description. But overall, the script is over described. It's too long, but it's also too much description and not enough action, not enough people doing things or revealing themselves through what they're doing. Intercut. This is definitely a scene where we are going to be cutting back and forth between two locations during this call. So by putting intercut as a transition over here, what I'm saying is from now on, I don't have to say we're in this place, we're in this place. See, there we go. Oh, I put the intercut lower. All right. So this all right, so we're cutting. Okay, now he's not listening to the sounds. She is. Okay. Okay, this isn't a raw spam call. This isn't a spam call. I can hear I can hear birds, gulls, seagulls. Okay, so this isn't a spam call. Is that clear? Is it, what I want to say is, like, if you get a call from, like, somebody offering you, that your credit card has been caught in a fraud thing and they want you to give them social security number, they don't just hang on the line and have birds. So what she's recognizing that this is not, but I think, so this isn't a spam call. Kind of like this. Let's put this. I don't know. I think I'm going to cut this. Oops. Let me see. I'm just going to leave it there in italics so that I have it, but I think down the line I'm not going to need it. Okay. That's better. Less is more, folks. Less is more. All right. Okay. Who am I speaking to? No. I know. So he doesn't know, he doesn't know who she is yet. He's called, here's the thing. Deakins read about the murder in the news, and he was so upset that he instinctively said, I have to tell them I didn't do it. So he's made this call impulsively, but now he's a little scared because he's afraid of exposing himself. And so he doesn't know who picked up the phone. He knows George is dead. He doesn't know who's picked up the phone at George's house. And I know, yeah, okay, here it is. Oh, yeah. I was looking at this the other day. This version of the line, George's ex-wife, widow, ex-widow. I was wondering whether, or is it George's widow? Because I think she would go there first and then ex-wife, ex-widow. Yeah, I think that's better. Except I don't think she has to say ex. I think she has to say ex-wife. Okay, so this would be the first thing they talk about. All right. Now, the original thing I thought was, are you trying? She says, are you calling George Roisman, or are you trying to reach George Roisman? Then she would say, if they said yes, he'd say, I'm sorry, he's dead. But the thing is, he's not, because he knows he's dead, so he's not trying to reach him. But is that an unnecessary, little role there? I don't think so. All right. Yes, exactly. Beat is like a pause. Beat is a small dialogue pause. When it's in parentheses like that in the middle of dialogue, beat is little pause, little break, little thought. depending on how you're using, what context you're using, if you're talking about the beats of a scene, you're actually talking not about pauses, you're talking about the sections of a scene. Different people use the word different ways. May I ask who this? Who I'm speaking? Sorry for your loss. Thank you. Who's this? Thank you. Who is this? Thank you. Who is this? I didn't do it. I just wanted to say I didn't do it. There we go. Okay, so this is much better. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you. Who is this? I just wanted to say I didn't do it. All right, I believe we have a... hello, Ethereum. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry it's late, but I'm so glad. I really appreciate you telling me that. And I really appreciate you coming on live at all. And certainly the chats are great. Get some rest. Get some sleep. Don't stay up late. This is there on recording. You can watch it. You can watch it while you're having lunch. Take it easy. Thank you so much for being here. All of you. All you folks out there in live land. Okay, look at all this that is just a repetition of this. So cut, 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 cut. That's the case. this is good. This is better. Okay. Gestures silently, frantically, silently gestures the phone. Oh, look, we've got a bot. Goodbye, bot. Okay. Okay, so this is, I'm adding, then I'm cutting, then I'm adding, but are there any extra questions you can think can help to think of a scene as an action? Yes. Yes, indeed. There's a bunch, and I will show you. First of all, these questions, because every action is essentially a drama in miniature. So yes, this video gives you my 6 favorite questions, which the point about it is, even if it's just a scene, who is it about? What do they want? What are they trying to do in this scene? What are they trying to get out of this encounter? Whatever it is. Like right now, we're writing a scene where Deakins is calling Madeline. That's the action of the scene, and he's calling her because he wants. The main thing he wants is to tell her that he's not guilty, that he did not do this. That is the core of the scene. Now, the interesting thing about this scene is that he does that right away. So the scene, in theory, would be over then, except that then she has actions. That she starts to react to his action, and she says she desperately wants to keep him on the line, for one thing. So what you're thinking is, who is it about? Who is taking the action? Who is the scene about? Who is the action? Who is taking the action? Who has something that they want out of this encounter? Not just the whole story, but this one encounter. They're coming into it with reasons that we understand from other scenes. And then the question is, what do they do? As soon as you do that, you've got your action. What he does is he says, I need you to know I did not do this. He's trying to partly get them to not come after him is his main thought. But also he just feels upset and he's trying to connect. That's the underlying thing. Having done that, he is surprised to find other people there who don't believe him. So they say, prove who you are. And that becomes the action of the scene. In other words, it starts with him wanting to assure her that he didn't do it, but he can't assure her because they don't believe him. So that's the action of the scene. So these 6 questions are my favorites. Then just a whole bunch of other good questions are here. This video. You're asking a lot of questions in there. If you go through just like, is it specific? A lot of them. But the main thing about an action is to understand who's doing it in this moment. There's a scene is between people almost always. If the scene is like somebody climbing a mountain, then the action is they're climbing the mountain, and that's the person who's taking the action is the one doing it. But once you have more than one person in the scene, one of them is taking the action to the other. Often 2 people come into a scene with different actions. And the question is whose action runs the scene. And sometimes it switches. So yeah, I would do those. And by the way, if you haven't, I mean, action, this video is really good for just understanding what the action is, because that's the center of it. What's the verb? What active verb describes this action? So that video in my set of videos is a good one for understanding the action, because an action can just be of one line. An action of the line, of the scene, of the section of the scene, of the story as a whole. A closer look at how we get rid of. Okay. Okay. closer. No, he is. He's making that. He's calling and he's connecting. You have to remember that the thing that Deakins is trying to do is connect. I mean, that was his initial impulse was simply, I have to tell them. It's like personal. I want to tell them. I want them to believe me. I want them to understand I didn't do this. I feel bad for them. I feel bad that someone used my modus operandi to kill their guy, their husband or whatever. And he's impulsively reaching out. He's not playing a game here yet. Once they start to mess with him, he starts to get a little more he's operating with more of an analytical mind. But right now, he's being sincere. He's connecting. And he's just like, I'm sorry for your loss. I just want to say I didn't do it. I didn't kill him. I never liked that name. I don't know. Would he? Hello from Finland. Hello, Kiba. Kiba Toure. Nice to see ya. Nice. Welcome from Finland. I'm so glad that you could come on. It must be very late at night there. I apologize that you're having to stay up. Okay. So welcome. We are starting to try and rewrite the last scenes. Doing the last scenes first because I want to get the ending to really kick before I worry about the rest of it. If you can get the ending right, you're more than halfway there. Okay, the plot twist is too cutesy for McLean. No freaking way. And I think that's actually not. I have questions. McLean would say, I have questions. I have questions. This would be, what's the name of our new character? Teen. That's the only one. Okay, I'm just trying to find. We've got a new character, but I named them, but I don't remember the name. So I'm just looking. Cameron. Okay, there we go. Cameron. No, frequently trace it. No, oh my god. Shrimpton says, "Oh, good lord." Is it a sign there could be a problem with the scene? Just two characters and the action switches ownership. No, 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 no. That's good. There's no absolutely no problem with that at all. That's actually the sign of a good scene. Scene is kind of boring if it's just like plowing ahead. A good scene is like a tennis game. It's like a dance. Somebody starts it, and then other people in the scene, even if it's just two people, react to it and push back or dodge or whatever it is. So yeah, no, that's not at all a problem. That's actually the sign of a good scene. What they call adjustments. I believe, did I? I can't remember. I think in this video, I talk about the concept of an adjustment, which is, for instance, in this one, Deakins is pushing ahead with this, and then he's going to get pushback and discover that other people are on the line, and it's going to the scene is going to shift. That's great. That is what a scene should do. It shouldn't just randomly wander, but you a scene that doesn't change ownership, change the force behind it, it probably can't last very long, because either they get what they want or they don't. And if they don't, why do they keep pushing? Like, why do they keep doing the same thing? So that's all good. This is either Norman or Xena. Norman. Why should we believe? Edge in beside Norman to here, to listen. Okay. Yeah, although I don't like to think of it as dramatic landscape, because landscape does not take action. The dramatic relationship, the dramatic dynamic between people. You don't want a dramatic landscape, because that's static, and drama is constantly moving, energy happening. Okay, so this is where we are, and I'm well. We've gone a full hour already. This is pretty cool. Hello, Matthew. I'm sorry I'm leaving. Bad timing, but I've just to catch you up. Here's the deal. We are starting into the rewrite. I've started to rewrite the end of the episode, because I feel like if you get the end right, then everything else is a question of making it work towards that good ending. Because the good ending, that's the most important thing, really. The ending is everything. So that's what we started doing. And the other thing is we got the title, which is Crime Crackers. That's the title of because of the last line of the episode. So that's where we are. I'm going to say so long and see you tomorrow, because we got more of this to do. We got to get this thing going. In the meantime, please go write something.